Hi there and welcome back. Welcome back. Let us look at this example over here. It's an Excel example. We are going to make use of information that is readily available for us and extract data from it and also analyze the data. So it's kind of like data analysis. Okay, let us start. So for the first example, I want us to extract names from these emails. So it can be name and surname or surname and name, however you want or per preference. So the first person is Nana Piri, second one is Locat, Sally, dot. Subscribe to my channel, like and comment, and we also have Pearl Co. Okay, so we want to extract these people's names. So if you want to start, say for example, Nana is the name and Piri is the surname, you could easily write it in this format. So we are going to say to Excel, copy this format for the rest of the formulas. So you're going to make use of an function that is called under your data tab, and it is called flash fill. So if you can click on flash fill or just hover around it, it says automatically fill in the values. Or you can use a shortcut Control E. So I'm just going to click on flash fill and it auto extracted information from the emails using the first example, which is not a period, the name and the surname. However, we could have opted for a different shortcut option and just said Control E and it will also populate for you. Just make sure that you stand under the relevant tab. Because if you stood here and there was nothing, it's just say name, surname, name, surname. It needs something to copy or imitate whilst extracting data from you. So hence we started with a guidance. Okay, let's move along. For the next part of the question, I want us to extract ages from these people's identification numbers. So you're going to say ID numbers. So the easiest way, the shortcut way, which is not the best option because it really doesn't work for all the ages. For example, we can say year, equal sign, year, today's date, as in today, bracket, close bracket again. And then we can say for this left cell, only the first two digits of the cell. So we're going to say left this cell here and 2. Unfortunately for everyone, Excel date starts at 1900 It doesn't recognize any date before then. So for all the people born in the 90s, we can subtract 1900. And for all the people born in 2000, we can subtract 2000. And there we go. It gives us our age. If you drag it down, it will give you the respective age properly for the 90s. And for the people born in 2Ks, 2000, you can see there it's not balancing. It's an extra 100. Hence, to account for it, we can say subtract 2000. They get it. But what if this data was literally South African information? The whole entire nation's information. Are you going to individually look for the numbers that didn't balance properly and correct them accordingly? No, of course not. So the best thing is to use an if statement. We are going to say, as it is over here, we are going to say is equals to if the left hand side of these digits here, so left of this particular cell here, we only want to use the first two digits, hence 2, close bracket. And if it's less than 30, we want you to use a special formula. We want you to use the formula for those born in 2000. So it's going to be year, today's date, as we did on the first row, the one that we looked at together. And we are going to say, close bracket, minus 2000 for those born in the year 2000. And it can be 2001 and 2024 all to date. Left of this particular cell here. Okay, say text, okay, left of this particular cell here, close bracket, close this argument. Else, if the argument is not true, use the formula for 90s. which is basically we subtracting in 1900 this time around. So we're simply going to say here, open bracket, today's date, close bracket, open bracket for today, close that bracket, subtract 1900 because these people were born in the 90s. We're going to subtract only considering this person's ID number, first two digits. Hence, we can say they left the cell, which is the ID cell, only the first two digits, close. And there we go. Can close the last bracket as well. Enter. There we go. So if I drag this down, you'll see that it works perfectly for the 90s people. But what about those born in 2000? There you go. It also calculated it for them as well because it used if statement. And if the argument is not true, it uses this particular formula for the 90 babies. Okay, lastly, now for the last part of the example, we've extracted the names. We've used IDs to extract the age and we corrected our formula so it can be arithmetic such that it accommodates larger files. Now, in South Africa, your ID tells the story. Your ID says the seventh digit of your ID, if it's between 0 and 4, we can just say 4,000, that person is a particular gender. If that seventh digit is between 5 and 9 or above 5,000, that person is another gender. Okay, let's use this particular example. So the if statement here, we are basically going to say, we are going to use it as it is over here. And if you read it, it basically says, let's be practical, if MID, which basically returns the character from the middle of the text string, given a starting position and length. So MID for middle bracket, we are going to use the ID numbers. And for the seventh digit within the cell here, if it's between 0 and 4, you're a specific gender, and if it's between 5 and 9, another, right? So then we can close the bracket. So if this digit here, the seventh term, is less than 5, return this person as that. Else, if the argument is false, return this particular function. Close bracket. There we go. And if I just drag it down, it should tell you a story. And lastly, in South Africa again, your ID tells a story. The third digit, if it's a 0, it means that you're a citizen. If it's anything but a 0, it means you are a South African resident. Okay, let's do it again. So we're going to say if MID for the middle term, again, ID number, the 11th digit, only return or use the only 11th digit, which is now we have to explain the length or the number of characters. So just one this time around, not two digits like when we used it for the age. Close bracket. Now we're going to say equal to 0. Return citizen. Else, if the argument is false, this is a resident of SA. Close bracket. Enter. Oh, there's something that I did wrong here. Oh, let's fix that. Enter. Okay. So let's go and see. Perfect. This particular individual is a resident because the 11th term is a 1, not a 0. I really hope that makes sense. Thank you so much for watching.